Well, I'm kind of just depressed.
It is very
It's just
depressing.
like I had to talk to somebody recently, and they were defending Dave Chappelle and his attacks on transgender. And let's be clear, Dave hasn't necessarily attacked transgender. He's just not been the ally that I believe he should be for transgender folks.
Mhm.
And the person that I was having a debate with was just like, hey, he was just trying to make a point that, black people, get discriminated against too. And I was like, yeah, okay, but when did this become
As if trans people can also be black.
that was a later point, but the first initial point
Yeah.
was, when did this become a competition of trauma?
Right.
That, like, I don't know why people want to do, well, my trauma is harder than this. You want to know how hard I had? This is what I had to do. And I guess we're taught, because our parents taught us, look, y'all think it's hard now. When I was your age, I had to do this, 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 and this. And I guess it's past.
Yeah.
I guess that,
I had to walk 15 miles to school through the snow
right.
barefooted.
And like, no, you did not. Grandma and granddad gave you shoes and you caught a bus.
Right.
You caught a bus. You were bused to school. So, but I guess that's where it comes from, is the generation before us telling us how hard they had it. So you had to out trauma the next person. Okay. So maybe it's a societal thing. And a lot of times, often in society, people don't want to admit what they're wrong and they don't want to apologize. It's becoming more and more prevalent as we move forward in society and life. But I said, well, Dave was sitting there comparing traumas, number one, and saying, well, our trauma is longer lasting and is more deeply rooted in America, so we get first dibs. And I'm like, nobody gets first dibs on trauma. That's number one. And I was like, and number two, he's completely ignoring that there are black people that are trans, and the majority of the people that are committing suicide in the trans community are black. And when I pointed it out to
that are being murdered in the trans community,
that are either committing suicide or being murdered, they're black. And when I pointed out to that person, they're like, oh, you know what? You're right. I didn't think about that. And I was like, huh. So you can have intellectual debate and people actually listen to your point of view. Because I was hearing what he had to say, and I understand it as a black man what Dave was trying to say. I know what he was trying to say. Just, I'm not going to go to a Jewish person and be like, slavery was worse than the Holocaust. I would never compare traumas like that. I would never go to a Native American person or an indigenous person and say, slavery was worse than anything that ever happened to y'all. It's absolutely ridiculous. Like, I would not do that. It all really bad. All of it is bad.
Yeah, none of it's great.
not. Well, I mean, if you listen to the politicians down in Florida, there were some benefits for black folks in slavery.
They were already agrarian people.
No,
that's why you had them come over here.
No, that's not,
because they already knew how to farm.
No, but that's not what they're saying though. That's not what being taught.
The hell, y'all didn't teach us nothing.
They did teach us Christianity, which I don't know if that was a good or bad thing. I mean, I love the Lord. Just their version of Christianity is a little bit different.
Yes.
You got anything to add on about this? I got a feeling if you like that clip, go ahead and hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to catch up on all of our latest content. Don't forget to hit the notification button when you do subscribe so you can get updated every time we release content. We release content every day, whether it's an actual show or clips from the shows. So go ahead and subscribe, like, comment. Also, don't forget our Patreon page where you can find our Talking Straight-ish and After Hours Uncensored episodes. That's patreon.com/unsolicited perspectives. But once again, thank you again for listening to Unsolicited Perspectives. I'm your host, Bruce Anthony, and I'm going to catch you next time. I'll holla.